Well, today I wanted to take a look at an insect problem that's not very obvious at the start. However, if left alone, it can seriously slow down the growth of your tree, sometimes to the point of even killing it. And what we're looking for today is scale, and specifically obscure scale. Now, as we look at this oak tree, the leaves aren't quite as big and it looks just like it's a little bit sick. But as we inspect the stems, at first glance, you can't tell that anything's wrong with it. However, if we get this down a little bit closer, I'll show you what we're looking for. Now, as we look at this limb, it really doesn't look like too much is wrong. However, as I look more closely at it, see right here, we have what looks like a little bump. That is actually obscure scale. The females are round, usually about 1/8 of an inch. There's usually just a little bump in the center, and they do look gray. They look like the bark. But when you rub that, you can see underneath, it leaves a white dot. And that's how you can tell that that's scale. And actually, as we look closer on here, this limb is covered with scale. You can kind of rub on here, and we'll have, see all those white patches that I'm looking at there? That's all scale. Now, this scale is very bad about one scale being on top of another. So you can have layers and layers of scale on here. Now, left on this can cause branch dieback. And basically what they're doing is they're sucking the sap out of this branch. So eventually this branch could die if this population is left alone. Now, this isn't the time of year to treat for obscure scale. However, it is a good time of year while you're out tending your trees and looking at things to check and see if you have it. Now, what you need to do is treat for this during the winter when the temperatures are above freezing. Spray some dormant oil on your tree, and it may take more than one application. You'll need to read the directions on your dormant oil, but that's how you can get rid of scale. But right now it's a really good time to check your trees. Now, obscure scale is very common in Oklahoma on pin oaks, also bur oaks, and pecans. However, it can also be found on other landscape trees such as maples and hackberries. So check your trees and see if you've got any scale on there, and then treat them this winter when temperatures are above freezing with dormant oil.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.